This is Zuma's new base on Hermitcraft. It's under construction. And he was online today and he asked his builders to come and help him design the finishing touches. These are various iterations of how to build the arches and domes over the base. It goes to bedrock with glass over it so that it's a smooth surface. And those four colors represent, redstone and loot and those sorts of things. And under the glass in the central aisles, he has baby zombie pigmen. He has a long history of love-hate relationship with zombie pigmen, so I found it amusing. So these are various iterations of the decided upon arching of the dome, and that's an empty room there. And this room here, somebody teleported me to him. I didn't know they were where Zuma was working. I stay away from Zuma when he's working. I don't get his face. That's what an empty room looks like. And here's the room I designed for his base. Now, mind you, there's no assurance that my design is going to be used. I just gave him a warm, comfortable, masculine, but cheerful, strong, opulent place to chill after a hard day of grinding with some of his favorite things: music, enchantment, books. There's an X on the wall with his bookshelves. Here's his little fireplace. Of course, his music area. But water, because the base is so far underground, there's no way to have windows. I'm really sorry about the trees, Zuma. I forgot that you're in a desert biome and the leaves are going to look like puke. So I'm asking him if I could please restore Dig for Hire on his plot now that he's given me permissions to do this project. And there's a book in there that I've already shown you of the way I've restored the Dig for Hire. It's Fozzie's plot. You'll see later that I can mouse over those. And the pickaxe is Dig for Hire. And the sword is Cleo's Folly. It has arthropods 5 on it. And the pick has either Fortune or Silk Touch, I don't remember. There should be a dog there with a black collar named Raspberry. Of course, we can't do mobs on Zuma server. It's not a very powerful server, and it has an awful lot of chunks and blocks cached in it already, so keeping entities and other things down really helps, because builders use a lot of tasking materials. I have Minecraft because it was gifted to me. It was a thing I would not have bought for myself, and my friend insisted on purchasing it for me. She ran a server in Great Britain, and she and a couple of YouTube friends, we played together. It was a bucket server with all kinds of cool bells and whistles. This is a bucket server with not a whole lot of bells and whistles, but some pretty fun stuff. And playing it made me sick because I didn't know things like the point of view could be changed and view bobbing could be turned off. It also triggered post-traumatic stress disorder, and I was fearful a lot. When she bought me the game, they had just made zombies knock down doors, and I could not work buttons. I can't door on iron doors to get through fast enough, so I had to have a redstone device just so I could get in the house, because I'd get trapped outside and get killed a lot. The game was making me very, very sick, and unfortunately, my companions in gameplay weren't taking it seriously and couldn't help me figure out how to make the game more accessible for me. I became really mentally ill. There was a lot of pressure on me to perform the way my companions did, and I could not. I couldn't see. You see how slowly I move, see the lag I've got, and how hard it is for me to maneuver and see items and the crosshairs and the hit boxes. And it takes me longer to work my inventory because I have to move slowly. My mouse doesn't function quickly. And the pressure to keep up with people who were IT people who had been gaming people for, 15, 20 years. And this was my first real game. And there was social pressure as well, wanting the companionship and the friendship of the people that I was playing with. And they had their personal issues too. And our issues were not compatible, and it ended very badly. I, in her multiplayer server, I went to the Nether. It was only my second trip to the Nether. I removed all my armor and put it in chests at my front door and took off all my weapons. And I went to the Nether and I aggroed pigmen and I jumped in lava and I logged out. I did that in my single player world. I went way out into an ocean and jumped out of the boat and drowned. And when it said, "Do I want to respawn?" I said no, and I took Minecraft off my computer. But you see, the thing with having post traumatic stress disorder, and the reason I'm still alive at 58 years old, is that I don't let the things that trigger me own me, pwn me. It took 6 months for me to work up the courage to go back to Mojang, reload Minecraft, and start to play. I was going to make you a special, my single player world that I fired up when I did go back to play turned out to be about 20 blocks from the stronghold. I've never gone after the dragon, and what I wanted to do for my anniversary special was gear up that world, get it in 1.6.4 and then 1.7.2, and gear up in that world and get the enchants and all the stuff I would need and the equipment and go into the end and liberate the dragon. I won't even use endstone in creative because I don't have a right to know what it sounds like to walk on endstone because I've never been to the end in any game. And I've played and do still play several worlds. But this happened today. Somebody teleported me to him twice, two different people, and I was right in his face while he was trying to work, and I was so embarrassed because it's this is his livelihood, and I didn't know I was teleporting to his space. I thought I was teleporting to one of their plots. And the second time I said in chat, "Please don't teleport me to where Zuma is. He needs to work." I said X so it wouldn't ding in chat and alert him and disturb him. "Please don't teleport me to X when he's working. I don't want to bother him." And Zuma said, "Who teleported you?" And I said, "Boss, I don't rat people out, but I apologize for being here." And a lot of people were flying around, and so I just kind of stayed out of the way. At one point, he looked over at me and he did a little squatty downy thing, and I squatty downied back at him and waved at him, and I sort of trailed him around from a great distance so I'd stay out of the way. And then he said, "Riverstone, you have a room." And I didn't know what that meant. And then he said it again, "Riverstone, you've got a room." And I panicked and I flew around because you see how many of these there are. And I finally found, he had been putting down signs, and I finally found the sign that he'd put down that said my name. And my hands were shaking so badly that the first thing I did was put down some of that iron ore around the edges. And I wanted to put in opulent seating where he could cuddle with a friend or his dog while he read a book. and listen to some music by the fire. It's a good room for having guests over for a little gathering or a party. It's a place to unwind at the end of a really hard day because those lounges you can stretch out and really relax. It's a cheerful room. It's a peaceful room. It's a strong room. And it's got a little bit of raspberry in it because I found out today that, like me, Zuma is aware that raspberry is far superior to anything made with strawberry. So, a little bit of magenta for the raspberry. And the dog is named Raspberry. In 2 years of playing Minecraft, I've adapted it for my vision a little bit, and I have practiced being a Minecrafter so that I'm not terrified of the monsters and not attached to dying. You, I've learned that I can't. It's a very zen game. I can't be attached to anything in this game. Not spaces I live in, not things I own, not ideas I have and plans I have about how I want to play the game because the game is going to tell me what it wants me to do, just like real life. I've got to be adaptable and flexible and resourceful. So here I am at my anniversary, my anniversaries, and this sweet, thoughtful, strong, intelligent, resourceful, inquisitive, inventive, creative person asked me to make a concept model room for his base on hermitcraft, his livelihood. Happy anniversary to me. By the way, I did finish these. The little nether fence post tables have item frames on three sides because that's all the places I could put them. You can't put them right next to the stairs. And each of the item frames has a drop of redstone dust on it because it's Zuma. Goodbye.